Hello and welcome to Bloomberg. Quint, Agam and I are going to be talking about how the markets fared today. Well, the Indian stocks clawed back to their 2-week highs with the Nifty reclaiming that 8200 marks. It ended comfortably above 8200 and this marks the fourth straight day of gains, mainly led by financials. Bank Nifty also saw some strong 2% gains coming in. Metal stocks continued with their positive momentum, and this is despite lower metal prices in Shanghai. So all sectoral indices did well and ended more or less in the green.
Well, with respect to futures, again, we have seen an increase in open interest towards the Nifty futures, an addition of around nearly 11%. Shraddha, what really stood yesterday, the Nifty Bank had come down by as much as nearly 0.2% yesterday.
Yeah.
And today is the day we're looking at a correction, or rather an up move around 2% with a decline in its open interest, so which means that we've seen some short covering in the Nifty Bank futures, which is of course good news because there are a lot of people who are unwinding their short positions for now. With respect to the options market, let's take a look. We have seen the Nifty move up well above the levels of 8100. So we're looking at a lot of writing in the 8100 put, as you can see on this bar here. It's followed by the 8200 put as well. Some amount of increase towards the 8400 call that also gives you a near-term resistance, so to speak. But with respect to open interest and the kind of range that we're looking at, it's between 8000 and 8300 in the near term. So it's a 300-point range. It's a narrow one, yes, but it also signifies that we're looking at some consolidation moving into the next couple of weeks, Shraddha.
That's as far as your index is concerned, but clearly mid-cap stole the show for the day today. There were multiple themes that were buzzing. So let's start with tire stocks. They were building on their momentum. So you clearly had Balkrishna, Sia, JK Tires, Apollo Tires, all of them rallying anywhere between 3 to 6%. And that brings me to the Bloomberg Quint poll of the day. We'd asked if MRF would continue to hold on to that 50,000 level today. 52% said yes and 48% said no. So it was a fairly divided opinion. And despite trading above the 50,000 level for most of the day, MRF did give up that 50,000 level in the last few minutes. We also had cement stocks like JK Lakshmi, Ambuja, Orient Cement, Ultratech Cement. All of these were sitting on gains of over 2.5%. So those were the two big themes that were buzzing. But overall, Agam, what was the market breadth like when it comes to it?
Broadly, it was once again positive, and this is for the third or the fourth consecutive session we are looking at a positive breadth. So with respect to advance decline ratios, we're looking at 4 advances as against 2 declines. Let's take a look at some of the other gainers with respect to the broader markets. We're looking at gains in Welspun Corp, which has gained 13.6%, followed by JK Lakshmi up nearly 10%, J Corp, HCL Infosystems, Zaban Offshore, an unusual suspect in this year. In this case, Bliss GVS as well as Welspun India, all of them gaining well over 7%. With respect to losers, we're looking at weakness in Sequence Scientific, declining by little less than 6%. Adani Transmission down 5.4%. Rolta India down 5.2%, followed by Berger Paints and some profit booking coming in Max Financial. Well, we also had gains in the Amtech group. In this case, Amtech Auto specifically. While we do not have details of the restructuring, but they are going into some sort of restructuring in order to reduce their debt. This, of course, is an ongoing story. This is something that Amtech Auto and the Amtech group has been plagued with for a year now.
Yeah.
But we are looking at some easing, because of which we're also looking at a 4% gain in Amtech going in. What else are we keeping an eye on for?
Agam, I'll just talk about the Nifty movers. Mainly it was the financials that left the index higher. So clearly ICICI Bank almost 4% higher, followed by you have Yes Bank, IndusInd Bank. So all the private sector banks were doing very well today. SBI also seeing strong 2% gains. On the losing end, you had the Idea Cellular, which was correcting after 3 consecutive days of gains. There have been reports which said that the company was looking to divest its tower business. Lupin and Cipla were some of the other losers within the pharma pack on account of rupee depreciation. So that's as far as your broad Nifty index was concerned.
So once again, with respect to earnings to watch tomorrow. We have some relatively smaller mid caps coming out with their earnings. So we have Srikalahasti Pipes, Graphite India, along with several others, where we will have some amount of movement in the broader markets, mostly the small cap index. But Sheela Foam, once again, we haven't really seen good response to that IPO yet on its second day.
That's correct, Agam. 3% is the subscription number so far, so I'm really not sure how this will sail through.
Right.
Remember, just about a few days back, you had another pharma company which had come out with the IPO. That was a much smaller company, of course, but the IPO, they despite extending it for 2 times, it does not really go through. So I'm not sure how this will turn out, but
Right.
3% number on the second day of subscription, definitely a weak or a not great looking number. The other part, we're also tracking the GDP numbers for the second quarter, which should be out in some time from now. But that's all for today. We'll see you back again at the same time tomorrow. Till then, have a good day.